guys, welcome back to the Super Scoop podcast. Today it's only gonna be Alan and I. Unfortunately, Spain and Mario couldn't make it. That's fine. We're going to do
Okay.
our Sunday night, Monday night predictions. But first we're gonna talk about the Lions and Chiefs game. All right, go ahead, Alan.
Wasn't as high scoring as I thought. I think the Chiefs defense played way better than I expected.
I can barely hear you.
However, sorry.
It's okay.
Uh,
It's okay.
I think the Chiefs defense played better than I thought they would. However, they were definitely missing the presence of Chris Jones because even though they got one sack, that defensive line was getting bullied.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, no pressure. I mean, they had 54 yards rushing just in the fourth quarter alone.
Yeah,
That's insane to think about.
I agree. Anything else you wanted to add on to that?
Um, I liked Jared Goff's poise. I like that the Lions had a counter. I was actually listening to Emmanuel Acho earlier, and he said that they hit him, and then they had a counter to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I watched a couple of the plays. Um, they ran like a halfback lead to the left, and the Chiefs stuffed it.
Yeah, they did.
So they lined up in the same formation later on in the game, and instead of running the halfback lead, they ran a play action pass. And the linebackers, all three of them, bit on it so hard that they were a yard away from the line of scrimmage, which created so many throwing lanes for Jared Goff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, people want the Chiefs fans want to talk about how Kadarius Toney had so many drops, and they were without Travis Kelsey and Chris Jones, but they forget to mention, like they forget that Marvin Jones had so many drops. They forget that Jamison Williams was suspended. So both teams
Took a hit.
didn't play the greatest,
Yeah.
but the Lions are so gritty that they were able to overcome.
Oh yeah. Um.
And the Chiefs should have had 35 fucking false starts on them, but it's a different story.
Yep, I was gonna get to that if you didn't. Yeah, Jawan
I
Taylor.
mean, I was Kadarius Toney a big reason they lost? Yes, but from in a like a football fan perspective, you have three timeouts before the 2 minute warning, and you're going for it on 4th and 25. Why?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Jawan Taylor had so many false starts. They didn't call it until towards the end of the game, rightfully so. And people like
Typical
to,
refs.
yeah, people like to argue that Lane Johnson does it too. He does it a little bit, but he times it like almost to the point where it's like timed with the snap. But Jawan Taylor did it so blatantly that it was a false start. Um, the
Well, that and Jawan lines up so far fucking back. Like, that's not legal.
No, it's legal formation too. Um, the Chiefs,
Like,
the Chiefs defense definitely showed out. They surprised me a lot. And then to add what you said with the three linebackers biting, I remember this one play. I mean, they were mainly doing the play action hit to Amon Ra, but they hit Jared Goff hit Josh Reynolds on the one play action, and I want to say the linebacker Nick Bolton, it went right over his head, and then he turns around and goes, It was so funny, and because he's like right over my head, and he caught it.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was hilarious.
That was
Um,
actually the play that I was talking about.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Great minds think alike. Um, I want to also say that Jameer Gibbs is going to be a stud for years to come. Um,
I hope so. He had a very. I wish he would have got more like
reps.
carries
Mm-hmm. See.
because they didn't really like utilize him that well in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think he's going to be very good in the open field.
Yeah.
That one spin move he had was insane.
He had two spin moves off of two defenders on one play. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
I disagree with what you said though. I think he's more of a better pass catching running back than a running back because, like you said, with the open space he can do damage. So I think if they do like little checkdowns to him, he's gonna get maximum speed and cook everyone. But he
I
could
mean,
be
I can
used
agree
more
with
in the
that,
run game. What'd you say?
but at the same time, he's still very, very good in the actual run game.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can kind of give you that power, kind of like Tony Pollard. He reminds me of a lot of Tony Pollard.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? That's actually a pretty good comparison. And then they have David Montgomery to complement him with the run game. I think that's great
Yes.
duo right there
David
for
Montgomery
scoring.
looked really good last night.
He did. He carried them over the first yard line or first down to get that first down to help them win the game. That was very pivotal. And he also had a touchdown of his own that I really liked. It was awesome. He powered through and still scored. Um, Aiden Hutchinson definitely took a leap from last year. He was dominant against Jawan Taylor, even though he kept jumping off like false start. If he didn't,
Well,
yeah, if Jawan Taylor didn't have those early starts, then Aiden Hutchinson would have had like 2, 3 sacks. I want to say because there were plays where he was literally right there to sack Mahomes, but he didn't get him in time because Mahomes threw it away. Um, I want to also
the
say
thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Uh, I would also like to say that John Kaminsky also came in clutch on their second drive, or it was either the first or second drive where Mahomes tried to escape, and he since he played quarterback, he knew what he was doing, so he got off the block and ankle tackled Mahomes. I thought that was really cool. And then Alex
Yeah.
Anzalone, he was like a low tier linebacker last year. This year he shows a little bit more spark with the one pressure on Mahomes to force the third down. All right, you can go ahead now.
The thing that I like that the Lions did, and I think the Chiefs could have taken and they should have, um, they started lining up. They normally in a base you have your two ends lined up on the tackles. You have defensive tackle up on a guard, and the other one usually on the inside shade of the center. What the uh, Lions started doing is lining three people up on that right side of the offensive line on Jawan Taylor's side
Mm-hmm.
and leaving a huge gap on the left side of the offensive line. And the Chiefs really should have took advantage of it and ran the ball in those instances because that's how is what they do is they would line so many people up, but they would put uh, Aiden Hutchinson to where he's solo on the guard,
Mm-hmm.
and Jawan Taylor couldn't help out.
Yeah.
I think that they should have ran the ball. They should have Mahomes should have seen that and said, "Hey, let's run the ball through the left side of the offensive line."
Mm-hmm. Ooh, you just gave me a couple
Um,
great ideas. Anyways, continue.
I also think the tripping call on David Montgomery was bullshit. Like Nick Bolton ran him over continue to run through him.
You can't
I don't
control
know
that.
how you can strip somebody legs in the air.
Yeah, and because you can't control that when you're being ran
Uh,
through.
exactly. I missed the I guess. Uh, when throwing the ball was 15 yards downfield, and Aiden Hutchinson still tackled it. I feel like that should have been personal foul.
Okay, it's a fair argument. Um, I would also like to talk about the fake punt Dan Campbell called in his own 20. That was really ballsy, but it was
What balls?
yeah, he
That was fucking crazy.
titanium balls. I'll say that because in your own 20 on your second drive, I want to say second drive. That's a statement right there, basically saying he's gonna win the game. And what happened? They won the game. Um, then when now I want to talk about this other play. It was like a third and one, and the Chiefs try and do this freaking jet sweep with Rashi Rice instead of handing it to Pacheco. Pacheco or CEH, they would have easily gotten that first down, but instead they got tackled for loss by Pascal and had to turn it over to the Lions. So that was a pretty stupid play call by Matt Nagy, which I
They had
forgot.
that happen a couple times.
Yeah, Matt Nagy, I forgot was the offensive coordinator. He's
Well, I'm
he's
not gonna
crazy.
blame it on Matt Nagy
Hmm?
because the Chiefs, that's who they've been.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, Nagy is the one who got Mahomes drafted.
Well, no, Matt Nagy was the coach for the Bears when Mahomes got drafted to the Chiefs.
He hadn't been, he hadn't, I remember because Mahomes told the story on uh, the New Heights podcast. Nagy, so when they do the interview process uh, for draft prospects, they go, the coach asks them a bunch of questions.
Hmm.
And Nagy went to Mahomes. He was on the Kansas City Chiefs staff
Okay.
and basically gave him the rundown of what the questions were. He told the story last year on the New Heights podcast.
I'll definitely have to give that a listen because I remember Mahomes was taken 10th overall and the Bears drafted Mitch Trubisky over him at some.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was interesting. Um, yeah. Richie James, Marquez Valdez Scantling, CEH, Isaiah Pacheco, Blake Bell, Noah Gray. They all did a fantastic job. And there's one player in particular I left out, and that's obviously Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney, he was the reason why Mahomes even had an interception. He was the reason why the interception was then taken for a pick six. He was the reason why the Chiefs lost greatly. I know people, the Chiefs fans are like, well, if Kelsey was in, if Tristan, shut up, because that's an if. This is reality. We're not in a fantasy world. Um, so with them being out, it's just the reality of it, and they lost. Was Kadarius Toney a big part of the loss, like Alan said? Yeah. Um, but don't like try to play this narrative that if Kelsey and Chris Jones were in, they would have won. Obviously, they probably would have won, but it's not the reality we live in right now. Um, yeah, Kadarius Toney was very disappointing.
right.
He reminds me of Jalen Rager 2.0. I've said it. Jalen Rager 2.0.
I don't agree with that. I feel like because I heard somebody make a great point earlier. Kadarius Toney didn't have any kind of training camp, or he didn't play in the preseason because he was trying to get healthy to play last night. Probably shouldn't have been playing to begin with.
Mm, okay.
And Sky Moore is also a reason why they lost on that 4th and 25. Sky Moore could easily made that catch.
Yep.
Um, and they would have got the first down.
Yep. I
Now,
agree.
Sky Moore did also make a great play. It was like it
It
was
was
on the 2nd and 20,
yeah, it was on the
and it
cusp.
got called back for holding.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with what you said.
But I feel like Kadarius Toney shouldn't have been playing last night, and I don't think last night is indicative on the player that he is.
Yeah, I mean they have receiver depth. I don't know why they didn't just bench Kadarius because they also had Justin Watson, who was also a phenomenal player during that game. They had Rasheed Rice, and they also had Justin Ross, who had no snaps at all. Um,
He did have some snaps.
did he?
Uh, yes, he had a couple catches, I believe. I
Justin
believe he caught
Ross?
a touchdown, did he not?
No, that was Watson.
Or no, 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 no. It was Rasheed Rice and Blake
Yeah,
Bell who had the touchdowns.
yeah, Rasheed Rice and
Justin
Blake
Ross
Bell.
had a reception for 6 yards. Uh, I'm not
Okay.
sure how many targets he had.
He also had that deep ball from Mahomes to the left sideline that set up for the Blake Bell touchdown.
Yeah, because he had the PI.
Yeah. But no, to go back what you said earlier about the Sky Moore on 4th and 25, if you can get two hands on the ball, you can catch it. So that is entirely on Sky Moore.
I agree, and that's not the only play that he was hitting the. Um, he also had a drive where CJ Gardner Johnson a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic play and knocked the ball out of his hands because he literally caught it and CJ Gardner Johnson just knocked it out.
Man, I miss him in an Eagles uniform.
uh,
Um. Oh, yeah, you just gave me a great idea to talk about. Marvin Jones Jr. What was he doing? What was he doing?
oh, he was terrible.
Yeah, that's an understatement. He doesn't even deserve to wear the number zero. I mean, number zero is for any plays he made. Oh, um,
I mean, he did have one good play. It just was a forced turnover.
yeah. I mean, at the same time, he still could have held on pretty well.
Oh yeah,
Cause like it was if it was hit where like if the ball was hit out of him like with the shoulder on the ball, then I would understand. But it wasn't. It was in his chest area, and like his arms went over the back of C.J. Gardner Johnson, and then yeah, he fumbled. Um,
David Montgomery ran the ball more than the entire Chiefs. Well, almost more than the entire Chiefs time.
yeah, that's crazy to think about.
David Montgomery ran the ball for he ran the ball 21 times. There are 6 different people who ran the ball for the Chiefs, all totaling up for a total of 23 times.
Damn. Oh, that's right. They have Jarek McKinnon too.
He didn't run the ball a single time.
No, he didn't. Oh yeah, he was in one of those plays where it was like a fake handoff to him, and then he did, and then Mahomes did his
He did
thing.
have a reception for 10 yards, though.
Okay. Only thing I have yet, to say then is Dan Campbell is one of the top three candidates for Coach of the Year. Is going to be one of the top three candidates for Coach of the Year.
I think he could be. I think if either of the Texans or the Colts,
Shane Steichen.
I think if either one of them does well, their coaches will be candidates for Coach of the Year. I think Dayball and uh, Dayball and oh, what the fuck's his name? I don't even remember what team I'm thinking of now. Oh, Doug Peterson.
Yep.
I feel like either one of them could be Coach of the Year as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the Rams do really well, or even do semi well, that Sean McVay will be back in that Coach of the Year conversation.
Yeah, he very well much might be. I think he'll be in the top five conversation. Um, I
I
think
think the Rams will surprise people.
that can go either way. They could surprise people in a good way, or they could surprise them in a bad way.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I think the Rams defense, the first few games will be pretty bad. Um, however, I think they'll get it together because Raheem Moore is a great defensive coordinator.
yeah. I think my top three coach candidates are Robert Sala, Doug Peterson, and Dan Campbell. Yeah, I don't.
I don't see getting up there.
Who?
I don't see Ritzal getting up
Okay. I think he might because
there.
the Jets went from a 7-10 team to probably 12-5.
I
You.
mean, like at the same time, we haven't even like
Yeah, that's true.
who
Um.
knows if that defense is actually going to be like it was last year.
Mm, yeah. So like, everything's up in the air. Nothing's confirmed. But yeah. Um. You're not gonna like this, but I don't. I don't. I think the Rams could possibly. I think my record prediction for the Rams is 7-10.
I mean, I can see that.
I
I
know they.
can definitely see that. I don't think that they're going to be extremely good.
Mm,
Uh, but
your mic keeps cutting out.
oh, I'm sorry. I don't think they're going to be like a top 20 or top five.
Okay. Wait, hold up.
I could see them. I'm sorry.
Do do the Rams still have that Daryl Henderson?
No,
They do.
uh, they don't.
Oh, they don't. Where did he go? Actually, I'll look it up because
Could be wrong.
I'll look it up real quick.
He went to Jacksonville.
That's right. Yeah, he's backing up ETN. Oh,
Um, our running backs are Cam Akers, Ronnie Rivers. Forget else.
I
Look at the
don't
depth
know.
chart real quick.
I liked Daryl Henderson more than Cam Akers, but that's just me. But I
Kyron Williams and Zach Evans are the other two.
okay. I can see Cam Akers breaking out this year
I
if
could
they
too.
stay healthy.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
He was really good in what was it? 2020. Yeah, he was really good in 2020, which was his rookie year. In 2021, he obviously had the
Injury.
Achilles issue where he tore his Achilles in like July and was able to get back in the playoffs and looked good in the playoffs until he had those two fumbles against the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but other than that, and then last year he had the issues with he might be on the trade block, he might not be. Uh, he started to pick up towards the end of the season. Like he had like three straight rushing 100 rushing yard games or something like that.
Okay.
I'll
Um.
have to look.
Speaking of running backs, everyone's saying like running backs aren't getting paid because like they're the least valuable position or because their bodies wear down. My counter to that is I believe that the rookie contracts for running backs should be 2 years because if that's the case, you got running backs like Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, all these good backs. They deserve the money they want because they're putting their body on the line. So that's why I think rookie contracts should be 2 years for running backs. But every other position's fine. But yeah,
I mean, I can see that.
because yeah,
The way I look at it, I think running backs, running back seems like the easiest position to play, but it's not
it's not.
because they literally do everything that everybody else on the offense does except for throw the ball.
Yeah,
They run the ball,
they block.
they catch the ball, they block, they run routes. I mean, and in some cases, like Joe Mixon in the Super Bowl, they throw the ball.
Yeah,
It's,
they can do it all. And
I feel like they should get paid what they're worth.
mm-hmm.
I get it, they're the most replaceable position, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But how often
Do you
do the
find
top 10 running backs change?
exactly like I was about to say that too because I remember Cabby would say that running back's the most replaceable position. I disagree because you can have Josh Jacobs, you can't replace him. You can't find a star-studded running back that can replace him and have instant impact. Sure, they can be replaced as in like
We're going to
whoever.
get to that in a second. We're going to get back to, I'm going to let you finish, but we're going to get back to Josh Jacobs in a second.
Okay, like sure they can literally be replaced, but if they get injured, but you can't replace talent with a person who just comes in the NFL or backing up and they don't have much talent because there's a lot more to running back than there is running the ball. You got to have good patience, good ball carrier vision, um, good field vision, everything like that, and you can't just find someone that has all of them like that. That's why I don't think that argument is valid. All right, go ahead.
Right. I think I think Josh Jacobs is overhyped.
It's fair.
Like let's let's look at his stats. Now, granted, he's had bad offensive lines. I'm not gonna
I mean, he had
be
Alex
one of those
Leatherwood.
guys, but he has never averaged 5 yards a carry.
He doesn't average 5 yards a
He,
carry.
no,
Oh, yeah,
he's never averaged it in a season.
that's bad.
Um, he's only hit above 4.5 twice. Now he is a touchdown machine.
Yeah,
In 4 years of play, he has 40 touchdowns already. Um,
it's
but
impressive.
looking at his stats, 2021 he had 217 carries for 872 yards, averaged 4 yards a carry.
Okay.
2020, which would be his sophomore season, he had 273 carries, barely had 1,000 yards.
Damn.
In 2019, which was his rookie year, granted, rookie year, he had 242 carries for 1,100 yards. How do you
Damn.
have how do you get 30 more carries the next year
And don't break 1,000.
and get less yardage?
I, you know,
I mean,
on his defense, the lineman, because I would assume you can correct me if I'm wrong, but his sophomore season's when they drafted Alex Leatherwood for his rookie year, so they had Alex Leatherwood starting, and they had someone else in place of Alex Leatherwood his rookie year.
wasn't where was Alex Leatherwood in the same draft class as Henry Ruggs?
Yeah,
Or was he the year before?
hold on, I'll check. I want to look up when. Oh, he was actually drafted first round 2021.
Was that Leatherwood or?
Leatherwood.
So that would be Jacob's junior season,
Yeah, not sophomore. Yeah, that was a
where he averaged 4 yards a carry and only not even 900 yards.
yeah.
I don't know. I just Josh Jacobs is a good running back, but I don't think he should be anywhere above like the top seven.
I gotcha. The 2020 lineman for the Raiders was Colton Miller, Denzel Good, Rodney Hudson, Gabe Jackson, and Sam Young. The only one that sounds decent is Rodney Hudson. The other players barely even started all their games. Sam Young only played seven.
Damn.
Yeah, the Raiders' offensive line for 2020 was like nobody's. But then again, I give everyone a pass for the year 2020 because that was COVID year. That year was sucky.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I do understand your argument for Josh Jacobs. I'll hold you to it until this season. If this season he does same results, then I would have to argue the other way that he's actually good. It just took him time to develop out, I guess, which kind of makes sense. But yeah, I would argue that Derrick Henry's overrated.
What?
Yeah.
I disagree wholeheartedly. I mean,
Did you see what he did to
he's
the Eagles last year? Wait, yeah, last year.
no, I didn't watch that game,
He didn't do jack. Hold on, let me pull
and
up
that's
stats for
fair.
the Eagles.
He's getting older.
Yeah, that's true.
He's getting older and carrying the ball 350 to 400 times a year
Mm-hmm.
is gonna wear your body down.
Yeah. Yeah. Derrick Henry rushed 11 times for 30 yards and averaged 2.7 a carry.
And everybody's gonna have that.
Yeah, that's fair. Our D line did have 70 plus sacks that year. I mean, last year, so it's fair. All right. Well,
I'm looking for something right now.
I retract my statement about Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that might be one of the worst takes you've had.
Probably. And I don't have many bad takes. I try to keep my takes
That's
reasonable. I mean, I guess the most unreasonable take I had was in our, I would like to say, first podcast where I have the Bills missing the playoffs. But I also think that it's also very possible that they miss the playoffs. Because you got Miami and Jets in that division as well. And they don't have as much star power on the Bills anymore as they did before. Trey White's aging. Von Miller's old. Um, so is Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. Stephon Diggs is getting up there, but I think Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen will be fine. I think Josh Allen is still going to throw interceptions. Not as much as he did last year, but I think he'll have at least double digit interceptions. But they don't have any run game with
true.
Damian Harris and James Cook. That's why I was so confused they didn't reach out to Dalvin Cook, because then they could have both the Cook brothers and then actually have a developed run game to help Josh Allen not get hit, because Josh Allen would be running and getting smacked. And then the
I can
Bills.
see where you're from.
Yeah.
However, I think Harris will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think they would. I think they need to go out and get another receiver.
Yeah, because they let go of Isaiah McKenzie. Do they even have Yeah, they still have Gabriel Davis or Gabe Davis.
They
Sorry.
should go out and get
Yeah, they should trade for Mike Evans.
or but I think the Chiefs should trade for Mike Evans.
Fair enough, but I'm so tired of seeing the Chiefs win.
Uh, I'm not.
I mean, you live in Missouri, so
Well, yeah, but I'm surrounded by Chiefs fans and I hate them all. So
oh, okay.
I'm not. Just because I'm from Missouri doesn't mean I root for Kansas City.
Well, no, I wasn't saying that.
I right, I get that. I root for St. Louis teams, which is why I'm a Rams.
Mm-hmm. Because they were St.
Um,
Louis before L.A.
yeah.
Wait,
Uh, Go ahead.
doesn't that mean you were a Cardinals fan too? Because they were St. Louis before.
They were there before I was born.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair. Forget I said that.
Uh, the Rams were those came. I want to say in '95 or '96.
Okay.
I think the Cardinals left in '93.
Oh, okay. And then went to Arizona.
Yeah.
Um.
Fun fact. Did you know? I know this isn't football related, but the Atlanta Hawks, the only championship ever won was in St. Louis.
Really?
Yep. Back in like 1958 or something like that.
That's a pretty cool fact. I didn't know that. Um.
Yep. We're the St. Louis Hawks before they were the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay. The to go back to the Bills, they lost Tremaine Edmonds, who was a great linebacker for them. They did sign Leonard Floyd from the Rams. I believe they still.
Yeah, just call them the Buffalo Rams.
Yeah, right. What's going on with that? Yeah, I don't know. There's just
Dude.
something iffy with the Bills for me. It doesn't sit right with me. It's the same feeling I get for the Vikings. Like,
Well, the Chargers also have so many ex Rams.
mm-hmm.
You got Sebastian Joseph Day, and they've got who else was it? They have our old defensive coordinator.
Damn,
They have Gerald Everett. Like,
it's funny. It's funny that the teams that I am iffy with are Wyatt's world favorite teams because he's a Minnesota fan. Or no, he's a Bills fan, but roots for Minnesota as well.
no, he's a Minnesota fan, but roots for
Oh, okay, so I had it
the Bills
backwards.
too.
Gotcha.
He's born and raised in Minnesota. He actually traveled to Buffalo to watch the Vikings Buffalo game last year.
Oh yeah, that had been an emotional game for him, or actually not emotional, but entertaining because that was when the Vikings came back and won. It was a fantastic game.
Yep. Jettas and Stephon Diggs had two of the best catches of the
Yes,
year.
holy crap! Yeah, he got to witness that in stadium. That's fantastic.
Could you imagine being at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium when Odell caught that ball?
Oh my god, I'd be outraged because I if I had a root for any team, I would root for the Giants. So me seeing that, I would have went nuts for the Giants fans.
I would have too.
I think that was also on Chidobe Awuzie. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I think that's
Yeah, that was
too
too.
early for Shidobi.
Yeah, I forget. There was one corner that came to my mind, but then it went away. Byron Jones? No, I don't think it was him. Could be,
That
but
timeline seems off there.
yeah. Um.
Yeah, Shidobi didn't get drafted until 2017.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah. Now I can talk about our predictions for Sunday night and Monday night. The matchups are Cowboys and Giants, which, funny enough, which is a great transition into because we were just talking about the Odell catch. Um, I
Right.
This one's hard for me because with Brian Dable as the
You
coach,
want both to lose.
huh?
I said you want them both to lose.
Well, yeah.
Being
I
an
mean,
Eagles fan.
but realistically, I would if I had to choose one, I would rather the Giants win. But at the same time, I believe the Cowboys are gonna win. It's gonna be a close game, but I think it's gonna be 31-28 Cowboys. You can tell your prediction now for that one.
I think I think the Giants win. I think they win 27-24
Oh, close one too.
because I trust the Giants rushing attack more than
Cowboys.
I do Dallas's.
Mm-hmm. They only have Demarcus
I
Lawrence and
think I
Julio.
also trust the Giants more than I the Cowboys because Micah was so hit or miss last year.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all gonna come down to the Giants' offensive line.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they just extended Andrew. What's his name? I'm blanking now. Andrew Thomas. Thank you. I remembered. Yeah, they extended Andrew Thomas. They got a new tackle last year. He's pretty decent. They drafted John Michael Schwartz as a center from Penn State. He's a great center.
I
But yeah,
also think
you also think what?
Devon Thibodeau's breakout this.
Yes, interesting. Yeah, it's a great it's a great take. I also like the Giants safeties more than the Cowboys. I don't know. Xavier McKinney is such a great safety. I know they don't have.
He
Yeah.
really.
Oh.
think I think the Cowboys did good trading for Stephon
Mm-hmm.
to go opposite of Trayvon.
Yeah.
However, I do think he's going to be a liability in man coverage,
Mm-hmm.
so I expect them to play a lot of zone.
Um. They also have Deron Bland, who's also a really good corner. So they've got that nice trio, and then they got Anthony Brown out of there because Anthony Brown sucks.
Didn't Eli Apple go to Miami?
He did because of the Ramsey injury.
Yeah,
Yeah, crap. I didn't even
I
think about
wonder,
that.
I wonder how that's going to go.
Shoot, yeah, maybe I have to change my prediction now because I forgot about the Jalen Ramsey thing. And they also are without their starting tackle, Ryan Ramczyk. So yeah, so I think the Chargers might
Aren't they
win.
without Teron Armstead too?
Oh, that's the tackle I'm thinking of. Okay, yeah, Teron Armstead, not Ryan Ramczyk. I don't know why I was thinking Ryan Ramczyk. But yeah,
I think I picked the Chargers, but I could be wrong.
I think
I
you
should have
did
wrote them
pick the
down.
Chargers. I know I chose Miami. Yeah, maybe I
I
have to
think
change that.
I expect them to come out in a lot of two back sets.
Mm-hmm. And
They're gonna have to, or they're not gonna be able to send their tight ends or running backs on any routes.
mm-hmm. and the Chargers are healthy now. They have all their healthy starters, so it's gonna be dangerous up in L.A. They're gonna go in
I
guns
agree.
blazing.
Adam Schefter tweeted out who all was out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Jeff Okuda is out. Wow, I didn't even realize that.
Oh, that's for the Falcons. That's right.
Marlon Humphrey's out too, so that could,
Make the Texans win.
yeah.
I don't even know who's opposite of Marlon Humphrey because Marcus Peters is with the Raiders now.
Oh, didn't they, Kyle Hamilton?
Kyle Hamilton is a safety.
And, yeah, didn't they draft a corner though?
I don't know. I thought they drafted. I know they drafted Zay Jones. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check their corners right now, just just for reference.
Giants. Oh, Rock Yassin.
Rock Sin. That's right. Rock Sin and Ronald Darby, and they also have Arthur Mollett.
They have Jalen Armour Davis and Kevin Seymour.
Yeah, Kevin Seymour's not that great, but I don't know. Their defense is so weird because they've got Justin Matabuike, Michael Pierce, Broderick Washington, Odafe Owa. Roquan Smith is good, and so is Patrick Queen. David Ojabo, we don't know yet. They have Clowney. Call Hamilton and Marcus Williams for safety is good. Oh yeah, Jalen Armour Davis. Yeah, like you were saying. Damn. Oh, also, I'm surprised no one has signed the punt god yet. Matt
Oh,
Matt Areza.
oh yeah,
Because he was clear of all charges.
yeah, like, yeah,
And I know the
yeah.
Eagles
He wasn't even at.
just. Hmm?
I said he wasn't even at that party.
No, yeah. And the Eagles desperately need a punter, so Eagles should definitely call him up. Because Aaron Sippis is not good.
Oh my god, that fucking punter Duke is gonna be a steal in the draft when it's this time.
Okay, okay. I see you. I don't know much about
I
college.
was watching that Clipper game and he was hitting 50-yard bombs.
Damn. Okay, yeah, he could be probably a fourth or fifth round pick. That's about where they go or get picked. Um,
Um,
ooh, yeah, the Monday Night Football matchup between Bills and Jets. Um,
that's what
yeah, I think,
convincing.
mm, I think it'll be Jets. 35 27. 35-27.
I think the Jets win 28-17.
2017. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, the Jets are just stacked in every position. It's insane to me. Tyler
Don't they
Conklin.
still have Jesus tight end?
What'd you say?
I said, don't they still have CJ Uzama as their tight end?
Yeah, they have CJ Uzama and Tyler Conklin.
Mm-hmm.
Could have sworn they had another one as well, but I forget. Oh, Jeremy Ruckert. They also have Garrett Wilson, Mecole Hardman, um, Randall Cobb, Allen Lazard, and that one undrafted receiver. I think his name was Jason Brown. He's great. He's fantastic, and he made the roster.
You know what game I'm really excited for?
Which is which game?
I'm really excited for the Rams Seahawks game just because I want to see how JSN does.
Yeah. Oh, he might not even be playing because of the wrist injury.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He's not.
Yeah, because he broke his
Fuck,
fucking
man.
wrist. He had to pull me. He took a page out of my book. My wrist is still broken, but yeah.
I had mine broken when I was in kindergarten.
Damn. So long ago. At
And
least it was
now,
kindergarten and not when you were like a teenager.
fuck. It's crazy to think about. I was in kindergarten 19 years ago.
19 years ago, damn. When I was 1 years old.
Yep, I was 6.
Sheesh. It's insane.
It really is.
I
It's,
guess
time flies.
yeah. I guess that covers everything that we wanted to talk about. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Yep. Um, thank you guys for watching. Super Scoop Podcast episode 4. We're gonna see what we're gonna do for the next ones. Take care and peace.